follow a way, you know what I'm saying? You follow a way that is like on a path of elevation and evolution, you know what I'm saying? So in that, you have this form of creation because it's constantly like teaching you knowledge. It's giving you energy inside you. It's allowing you to move daily, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's your steps, that's your vibration. Like you are moving, you know what I'm saying, with food.
That's why I got
your
like
fuel.
Your water fruits and your other fruits, whatnot. They're
water,
not
she
fruits.
is the feminine. She is a receptive. Like look at the energy of water. It's flowful. It just moves.
Energy
it flows.
Think of energy as water because water is the most receptive of the 4 elements. Just let it flow. Bruce Lee's been teaching this. Masaru Emoto teaches this, and like it's some real shit. It's the like I said, it's a feminine element, but it's still a masculine inside the feminine because a waterfall can be seen as a masculine element inside the feminine. For sure. Because it has the negative ions that comes down, but you gotta have the masculine in the feminine, and you gotta have the feminine in the masculine. But fire is the only element out of all the elements that needs other elements to create it and help it sustain. That's the only element that needs other. But fire, but once it gets created, woo, and if you don't let it dissipate, woo, shout out to my fire signs, Leos, my Sagittarius.
Oh.
Love y'all, man.
Hey,
what about water? Say water signs.
Water signs? Well, that would be me with a Scorpio, which don't make sense because Scorpio is a fire animal, or it corresponds to fire. But you have your Scorpio, you have your Pisces, and you have Cancer. And then as far as your earth signs, you have your Virgo, you have your Capricorn, you have your Taurus. Then as far as your air signs, man, it's hard to remember all these things, but I do. You have your Aquarius, you have your Gemini, and you have your, help me out, y'all, help me out. I'm missing one. I'm always missing one.
you said what sign?
You have your Gemini, yeah, Libra. You have your Libra, your Gemini, and your Aquarius. Man, you gotta understand how this all connects, y'all. Have y'all been reading y'all zodiacs and y'all natal birth charts to see which one of the 12 houses that y'all come through, which you actually come through too? Because you have your ascending sign, you have your descending sign, which is your sun sign and your moon sign. So study that, because then it tells you a lot about you. You understand the science of self. My bad, Marley.
Hey, I got a question. What about breakfast or break fast?
You're breaking the fast.
Breaking the fast.
They say that's the most important meal of the day, but we got a homeboy here who's an herbalist. You know, some real shit. All you really need is 1 meal a day to sustain. And there are people who are vegans that eat 1 meal a day and are strong as hell.
We gotta stop eating until we feel like we starve.
You gotta remember,
you can really not eat at all. Like you can really not be on the path of like consuming anything.
Because you can live 37 days with water without food, but you can't live 37 days with food without water.
You can live a whole life without food. You can live a whole life without receiving energy, information. You know what I'm saying? Well, you're always going to consume a form of information because that's what life is. You're consistently learning. But in that, you
and
don't
all life
have...
comes from the water because we're 70 to 77% water, so that's real shit. All life comes from the water. Even though we're made of light, but all life comes from the water. If you study kinetic science, all of them came from Nu or from noon. Back to you, brother. My fault. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay, but alright, now check this out. Most people, when they break the fast, they hit with the pork in the morning with the cheese on top.
Oh, the worst of the worst. Peep this out. Breads are molds. So you're eating bread, it's molding slowly in your stomach. But unless you have high metabolism, you can't break it down readily, even though it's still not good for you. That's why I recommend to drink 8 to 10 glasses of water per day to help release the toxins in your body, and it helps to keep you well balanced. That's why they suggest that you should meditate at least 3 times a week, because what that does is it balances the chakras and it can unblock a blocked chakra.
So now this is what I've been doing. So since I know that I'm breaking my fast, I'm asleep, so I'm fasting. I wake up.
And you don't need 8 hours of sleep a day. You can really manifest 4 hours of sleep and be very productive and be good. Yeah. It's all mental. Yeah. It's all psyching the mind.
Yeah.
Things so shall you become. So if you eat stuff like this, then you probably won't have high vibrations and frequencies with the universe.
But check this out. So instead of eating the bacon and the pig in the morning with the cheese and shit, and the egg,
you can have simple oats or simple
the chicken
weeks.
Abortion.
You have simple oats, simple wheats. Definitely water,
straight
natural juices.
Water.
But I would suggest just water.
Just water in the morning.
Because truthfully, per one Gatorade, you gotta drink 3 bottles of water. So what does that say? That if you're not doing anything physical or sweating and releasing salt, then your body recognizes it as juice. And truthfully, a chemical that's like a glycerin that's inside of Gatorade is like a hydraulic fuel that exists in certain machinery. So think about that.
But check this out. That's electric. First thing in the morning, I'm putting electricity in my body. I'm gonna go ahead and get
and
right
if you don't
on
have
top.
electricity in your body, then go to one of them plugs right now and touch one of them things the wrong
You
way.
gotta charge your phone up in the morning.
You dig what I'm saying? Everything is light.
That
Everything has
warm your
electricity.
car up.
Everything is light. You dig what I'm
Then
saying?
you gotta think of this though. Most people are dehydrated because then in that dehydration, they don't consume any volume of fruit that has hella water in it, or like beans that have hella water in it, vegetables, life, or they just don't consume enough water. Period.
And another
They don't
thing
consume
is-
water. Period. Like I can drink like 3 gallons a day. Like that's yummy. Like that's good energy.
You both.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
live off water.
that's fuel for the day. You know what I'm saying? Like I buy water constantly. You know what I'm saying? Like
Bro, that's all I drink,
So in
bro.
that-
If I get a meal, all I'm drinking is water.
But this is what I'm saying.
I
Like
can't
you have to
stomach
drink
drink
good
anything
water
else.
though.
I
You
can't
have
stomach
to
drink
you have to
anything
drink
else.
good water. People drink water with fluoride.
Yeah, and with
Poison,
pH levels,
like sickness in it, bro. Like
right,
it's
like the
poison.
smart water's no good, that Aquafina's no good, and that the Sunny's no good. But let my brother keep talking because he's talking about water fruits and he's talking about water beans or things that have water in it because our body is 70 to 77% water, and most life comes from the water. You know what I'm saying? But let my brother keep speaking because he's speaking on real shit here.
He gonna talk. He gonna talk. Okay. I know I need to get the water in me in the morning. Get that electricity going.
It helps to detoxify your body and it helps to decalcify your pineal gland. But don't get the water with the fluoride in it. They did a test and experiment on YouTube that smart water, your Dasani, your Aquafina, your Fiji water, all those waters are bad for you. You should have a natural alkaline water. Like I said, we have our herbalist right here. Our herbalist is right here. He's gonna give a class coming up soon. So please be prepared for that. It's gonna be very well prepared. It's gonna be very spiritual.
Facts.
But
Facts.
energy has to be right. So we can't just throw a class together because if the energy isn't right and the flow isn't right, you're not gonna receive it the right way. You know, a good speaker has to first grasp the attention of the audience. So when they read your aura and see that you're a sincere person, and off your energy, because everything is energy. The energy can be light, so everything is light, and everything is melanin because melanin has light. So everything is connected. So everything has spirit, because everything has spirit that has life. So you see how all these words are different to a degree, but the same in nature. Everything's connected. You know, you can't make a sentence with create. You need words and conjunctions and verbs and paraphrases and nouns to create a sentence, you know. Even though English is a bastardized language, all words are made up, you know. So where did those words come from? Where did English come from? It's derived from, you know, the Anglo-Saxon,
They know how to
a
describe
5th, 6th century language. So it's a bastardized language, and it's more language of expression. Because like my brother said, how can you say that? You know that's, or you know what I'm saying, or do you know him, something like that. You know, like you can say one word back to back.
Hello.
More of a language of expression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is dad? What the hell is that? But it's an expression. It's the way you feel. You know?
A lot of people was feeling it.
Like you catching that damn Holy Ghost. What is the Holy Ghost?
Creating
You know?
a sentence is a process.
You know?
What is the Holy Ghost?
In my opinion, there's no such thing as the Holy Ghost, but I believe in the Holy Spirit, which can correspond and translate to the universal spirit, which everybody's already born in, which is an innate power that is already within you, but you give your power away when you worship something outside of you, or when you believe that there's a devil or that the devil did it. You're simply rebuking your lower self, and you need your lower self because you got to have balance. You know, right now, I got my chakra altar going, and right now we're burning for the chakra altar to balance our chakras because we got to stay balanced in life. So if you don't have balance, or if you're not getting the sun, or getting vitamin D, then you become anxious, you get anxiety, you get depression, and you can transmutate your energy and begin to physically mutate, become hunched and slumped over because you're not physically doing something, you're not in vibration, you're not in rotation with God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I go outside and I ground our earth every day. I talk to the trees, I talk to the birds, the bees, the squirrels, because everything has spirit, everything has life. They understand me, you dig what I'm saying? They used to think that George Washington Carver was crazy for talking to plants. No, they give us 10% of our energy and 10% of our oxygen. Plants have life. You know, if you study
Plants are your life.
if you study the Druids, that's their part of witchcraft and spirituality. that they plant new life, new seeds, new trees in order to make pacts with nature. So then that way, if nature blesses them, then they'll plant that seed to keep the continuum of energy going. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let me play devil advocate. All
Get it
right.
how you will.
I like to have fun sometimes,
Drink
man.
this
All right,
water.
look, now check this out, man. I eat some chicken every now and then.
Fried or baked.
I might bake it.
It's no good for you anyway because it's poultry.
Might eat some steak, you know what I'm
And think what
saying?
chicken eats.
Now look, check this out.
The beef doesn't work for you.
It's already dead. Y'all killing live food. Y'all murderers too.
Yeah.
In a way,
Yeah.
your food alive.
You talk.
And you eating it for you to survive.
What form of food?
Plants.
So this is what we say, like, you can be a breatharian, you can just live off your breath. Like I said, like I hopped into the Tao, like I told you about the Tao, like you breathe your sexual energy up to your crown, like that is their form of immortality. Like you vibrate without it. Fast, like don't live without food, don't consume anything. So in that you can sustain your life.
Right.
You can have a continuation of movement. You know what I'm saying? You can be in this oasis of thought. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can be chilling with energy and prana and life and, you know what I'm saying, like what's around you. You can be still. Just be still for like how long?
You can create energy.
You know what I'm saying? Hop like blindfold yourself for 3 hours. Hop into that third eye, like and see. You know what I'm saying? Like activate DMT. You know what I'm saying? Like tune in. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what Tao is. Like that's what life is. You know what I'm saying? That's what vibration is. Like close your eyes. Like when animals they hurt, they go inside a cave and they chill out and they try to see life. Like what do bears do? They hibernate.
You know what?
Like,
I'm glad you spoke.
What do beings do? Hibernate. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
What do
glad-
bats do? Like for a bat, they're in darkness. You know what I'm saying? Like they're completely in darkness. They don't chill in the light. You know what I'm saying? Like you have this form of beingness that comes from different forms. You know what I'm saying? Like we say, like do yoga, hop over to this realm of like tuning into your body. You know what I'm saying? Like
During your mantras.
do a handstand for like an hour. See if you can do it, because there's someone's doing it on a cliff. You know what I'm saying? There's someone like chilling in a pose for hours. You know what I'm saying? There's someone like chilling in meditation by the mountain, by some nature, like tuned in to something real. You know what I'm saying? Like you have this vibration that is like that is of tuning. You know what I'm saying? You are a being. You know what I'm saying? You be in the movement, in the moment, you live life. So all this comprises of like you try to live. You have this yang, you have this yin. You know what I'm saying? You have this feminine energy. You have this being that she is a female. You know what I'm saying? She has this feminine energy, like you lock into it. Yin, she's receiving, she's water. You know what I'm saying? She's flowful. Yang is like, I want to move, I want to create. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the possible? What is limitation? Like, let me do some parkour. Let me do a backflip. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me like move in a realm that's like constantly spinning. You know what I'm saying? What is perception? Like you ever like grab something and really look at it, like get close to shit? Like your eye adjusts. Like that's what prescriptions are. So like you have these glasses that tunes you into a certain vibrational thought that your eyes are seeing. Your eyes are a sensorial perception of you. You know what I'm saying? It's one of your senses. Tune into nobody with eyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? What are they moving with? They moving with their third eye. You ever met a blind person?
Yeah, they cold.
Like
Stevie
see
Wonder.
what someone move. Like,
You
know what
right
I'm saying?
time.
so powerful. So powerful.
And then all
You know
these
what he
senses
said?
kick up.
He said caves. That is one of the fastest way to activate your third eye or to speed up the process of meditation if you do not practice mantras or tantras. Mantras have to do with like chants and sounds. I mean, mantras have to do with more like your hand movements and chants and sounds and whatnot. As far as your root chakra, your sacral. This right here can be your third eye or a form of your third eye. There are many different ones that are alive. So they have many different ones. It just depends on what system that you follow. But for third eye activation, one of the fastest ways is to go into a cave. Another way is DMT, but that's a legal drug that is like prescribed in South America, even though the body and the melanin naturally produces DMT. But the most honest way is just to meditate. Practice meditation. You can do transcendental meditation 2 times a day. You can do free form. You can meditate with the elements. There are certain stones that help you for grounding. There are certain stones that help you go up. So if you're trying to go up, you can't go up if you have hematite, stuff like obsidian, or red jasper, or a grounding stone. you know, you need a transformation stone, like more like an amethyst, purple amethyst, black amethyst, or clear quartz, or a selenite, more of a celestial stone. So he made mention of caves. That talks me in the third eye activation for meditation. Then he also made mention of what else did you say? What else did you say about the woman, about the black woman, and about the feminine and masculine energy? Well, the masculine, that is the doer, and the feminine is more like the passive or the projective. So, you know, like that's the receptive side of the energy. The masculine plants the seed and the feminine fertilizes the seed. The masculine, he's the spiritual or the physical protector, and the feminine is the spiritual protector. So the masculine is the physical protector, and the feminine is the spiritual protector. And the masculine executes the order, and the feminine gives out the order. So they're both necessary in creation, because you can't get the divine without the masculine and the feminine principles. So don't ever look at any deity as a god or a goddess if you can't fathom it in that sense, or it doesn't make sense to you. Look at it simply as your higher self and representing the divine, feminine, and masculine. Same thing with the metal nectar. You cannot do the hieroglyphs or the metal nectar if you don't understand the transmutative properties of the or the metamorphical properties of the animals. In other words, it was all just one consciousness. They didn't worship no damn animals. They understood the aspect of the divineness of that animal. Like if it's a lion with a head, then she's a lioness. That means don't mess with her, because of her children, she'll chop your head off. If you saw a serpent, then you gotta understand that a serpent has one of the biggest pineal or pineal glands ever, almost the same size of a human pineal gland, and that represents the Kundalini energy as it spirals up and it goes up the spine. If you understand the hawk is very wise, and it is an air element, so therefore is a messenger of God. Same thing with an owl. Be as wise as an old owl. That's a messenger of God, so that can represent spirit as well, because an owl can't be seen. See what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta understand the divine nature in it. If it's a rabbit, then it represents fertility and bringing forth more life. So you know there's a deeper esoteric meaning and sense behind all of that. But I want to get on the black woman. Let's talk about the black woman. May I, brother Kufu Shabazz? May I?
Yeah, preach,
man.
Bro.
Let's get back on it. The black woman is God. The oldest remains or fossils found anywhere were in Ethiopia, Africa. They want to name her Lucy, but whatever. But the oldest woman on this earth is the black woman. She is a walking, the black woman today is a walking artifact. She has the E gene. That means she can create any transmugenic or any mutation of anything. She can have any hue of man. Understand that, any color of man. The X chromosome is 5 times bigger than the Y chromosome. The XX chromosome is the woman, which equals a perfect 720. So the XY chromosome is the man. So therefore he is incomplete or somewhat a mutation. The first 9 weeks as a fetus, we have a vagina before we have a phallus. So it's hard to say that the woman comes from the rib when in fact we come from the woman, and that we are a mutation of the woman. Remember, they are the XX chromosome and we are the XY chromosome. She is the perfect vessel. She uses every organ in the body, and she has estrogen and testosterone. That's why they can grow facial hair. So you gotta understand, she's the perfect vessel. So when we say God, we simply mean that a definition of God can mean something or someone that is in control of divine purpose or process of bringing something into life. And is she not in control of bringing in new life after about 9 months of labor and about having 3 perfect ovulations? So therefore, in a sense, she is a goddess. She is a manifestation of God. Out of her, all races came. And like you said, race is a man-made concept. So out of all humanoids came, or all people of Homo sapien. You see what I'm saying? So black woman is God. You know what I mean? I feel that anybody in their religion or their culture is going to feel that their woman is a God. That's okay, but just understand that we have the most variations of anything. If you're melanated, you come from the original woman, the womb man. So you know, come from God. You got anything else?
Alright, shit, I'm about to fuck you up with this one.
Man, hit me with it.
Okay, look. Now check this out. I've been thinking about this. Alright, now follow me. Alright? Now look. What's y'all take on creation? How this all started? Because y'all was talking about that in the last video. What is your take on how did this all come to be?
Okay, in my opinion, not my facts or
Yeah,
my
yep, opinion.
philosophical opinion.
I want everybody's opinion.
Is that consciousness helped create the universe, because consciousness creates thought, and thoughts are vibrations, and a thought is an action in a personal conversation with the universe. So once that thought manifests and picks up frequency and vibration through thought and vibration, then it becomes a reality. So I believe that in the dream state, we manifest things over into the physical, from the left to the right side, from the materialistic side to the metaphysical side, or the spiritual side. You see what I'm saying? So they would say that in cosmology, that consciousness created the universe, and universe there therefore became quantum physics, parallel universes, neuroscience, cosmology. And then they would say in the Kabbalistic teachings, or if you study ancient Kemet, that consciousness separated into two different states or entities. One would be in the Ka, another would be the Ba. So therefore you get the word the Kabbalah. And if you study it in Islam, then the Kaaba is simply is very similar to the Teflon cube, because it is all connected, because the tree of life, or the Kabbalah, has to do with the tree of life. As above, so below. Every sphere corresponds to something. I have a Kemetic tree of life, but everything is connected, because the Ka is a spirit and the Ba is a soul. And if you look on the ancient walls of Kemet, you'll see Khnum, who is creating the Ka and the Ba, which is the divine and human principle on the potter's wheel.
All right, let me rephrase the question. Do you believe everybody?
In the Big Bang?
No.
Hell no.
No. That ain't
Are
the
we
Big
getting
Bang. Do you believe in a physical start to create? I mean, this,
Hell
everything.
no. The universe always was, and the universe always will be. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the black man or African is like 7.6 trillion years old. And that doesn't say that nobody knows how old the black man is, because we've been around here forever. Even before some damn dinosaurs. And that fake ass fossil fuel. Nigga. Yeah. A bottle of water.
Do you believe in a physical creation to all this?
I don't think it's about belief, it's about experience. I'm experiencing my physical.
And who's to say that this is real in this matrix? Who's to say that's not programmed, and that when we're actually awoke, we're in a false state or in the matrix, and that when we go to sleep in the dream state or in the astral world, that we're actually creating our reality and living our real life?
In all actuality, that's for me to determine.
Well, y'all just fucked me up, so.
Because everybody lives in their own matrix. Because everybody lives in their own matrix and everybody lives in their own universe. So you might see the sky as to be purple. I don't think you're crazy.
That's why it's called the temple.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now at this level of consciousness, I'm not going to judge you, because you might see something totally different. You might be on a different level of ascension that I don't even know about. It's levels of this. It's levels of consciousness. You know, it's levels of this, and you got to be very humble. You got to be very grounded, because when you got knowledge and no wisdom, then you think you know something about something that you think you know, about what you think you know. You talk down to people, you talk at people, not to people. In other words, you're gonna try to get them to relate. So wisdom applies when you know and when and not to speak. Not everything deserves a response. Sometimes I just stay silent, because that's when my higher self looks down on my lower self like, why do we waste time on that? We could be doing something more constructive, less negative. Because then it puts up walls. People put up their walls. All because I have this ideology, you have this ideology, we can't vibe and kick together.
Yeah,
That makes no sense to me.
And that's sad. That's the sad
It's sad,
part.
but it's a harsh truth.
Yeah, fact.
The focus should be to build, right?
Yeah, that's the focus, should be to build.
Yeah, real shit.
A positive build, on a positive level. That's why we're not down anybody's religion, but we're just trying to come with logic. We start bringing out the facts, presented before you, you'll start saying, okay, this doesn't line up with this doesn't line up with this. Now I need to question this. But they tell you in church, don't question nothing.
So what is the law of movement and creation? Like, what do you try to create? So what is that law? Like, explain that. Explain, like, movement. That's the yang presence. She gonna speak to you. He gonna speak to you. He gonna create. You know what I'm saying? You have this form of, like, we live in this
You feel
in
like
this
that
corporate
comes
world
from
where
within
money is speaking. You know what I'm saying? Where you had this financial world. You had this matrix. You live in it. You know what I'm saying? You had this form of creation you try to dwell in. You know what I'm saying? Not only to, like, be in this peaceful state, but to create as well. Because then you have the woman in this world as well, and she wants something. And then being a male, you create with her. You know what I'm saying? Because she is the opposite of you, so you create. And in that, you have seeds. You teach life into people. You know what I'm saying?
The power of the mind.
Not only from that form of like education and like putting out knowledge, but in this form of just interacting with all life. Like we spoke on food, we spoke on how that gives you life. And I said how that speaks a trail. And then we speak on
plants give life off 10%.
But my question was this though. My question was this, like rooted back down to my question. It is this form of movement that is yang. I asked a form of movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So explain movement, and then also explaining how creation comes to be. Like if you want business, if you want any form of business, right? Any form of financial wealth in this world to create impact and to change things, to like feed, not only like just from a form of like money and like buying things and material, like or just feeding people food, but in a form of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? How are you creating this elimination of the masses? Like that word, like take that word out of it. Like that says something. Like you say the masses, how idiotic that is spoken. Like this trail of lies, like say belittlement, say poison, say the food, how they poison your mind, your being. You know what I'm saying,
say saying it right now. You're saying
take
it right
away
now.
all the poison. Like take
and
this,
also with
take this example.
And also with the chemtrails in the heart, when
Poison.
they put out this poison when we're not, and this exotic weapon when we're not. This right here lowers your frequency and it calcifies your pineal gland, because they know at this day and age people are not going to a gas chamber, so they bring it to the atmosphere. But most definitely about the law of creation and movement that has to do with the masculine. But you need the feminine to get the masculine because out of the masculine it comes from the feminine.
Hold up, you just say about the gloss over that. Like you ain't just say that. You said instead of the gas chambers, they bringing it out to us.
I mean, it's poison. They're gonna poison
you.
They poison you in multiple forms.
bro.
They poison you in multiple forms.
Yeah.
Multiple forms, bro.
That's just one of them.
Man, you didn't hear B.O.B. with the war witches? Man, he's telling you how they poison our food, how they cloning animals when and when not. He's explaining to you how they putting out the chemtrails in the universe when and when not, and mixing them with the heart to create the weather. Man, they're creating our reality. They control everything. They control everything you see on television. But back to his question, the movement comes into play through the feminine principle, because if you study the charge of the god and the goddess, out of the goddess came the god. So even though you have masculine and feminine principle, the feminine was here first, that came from the divine, which then made the masculine. That's why she plants the seed, and that's why he plants the seed and she fertilizes it. So she has to give him the order for him to execute it, and that is the masculine doing it, because the masculine is the projective and the feminine is the receptive.
But look, they had to come at the same time, man. Cause look,
herself too.
They came from divine, but she's a seed. Yes,
I got
she's
two
a seed
parents,
herself.
bro.
She's a seed herself.
I just go by what I see today, man. Everything else, I don't know.
But what they say is that we came from the woman, and that she transmutated or had a mutation to where the mutation became in between the chromosomes to where it made the male and the female.
Bro,
But if you understand the divine, you gotta have the masculine and the feminine.
My shit could go back for infinity, bro. Like, if I keep on going back, my shit keep doubling.
Bro, it's real
8,
stuff.
16,
It's real stuff,
32.
bro.
It's a new question.
You are a time traveler. I ain't finished it because now I'm going to answer it with the chakras.
Ooh, let me direct this question. That's gonna feed you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So this question is this. Alright, what is the feminine energy?
Ooh, the feminine energy is the receptive. She is the one that sits back and she is the passive. But the masculine energy is the doer. It is more, or he is the one, or the one that puts forth that action after she has given out that frequency or that vibration. Because through vibration and frequency creates thought. And thoughts are actions with the universe. So just by your thoughts alone, you can create. That's why you gotta be careful of your thoughts and the music that you listen to, because as you think, so shall you become. They've done experiments on water to where, especially Masaru Emoto, look him up, he's very good, and Bruce Lee. They've done experiments on water to where if you speak negative, saying vulgarity or vulgar words, or with hatred, you see the crystallization comes out negative and all blotched up. When you speak life and truth and love into it and peace into it, it comes out nice little big crystals and nice little big designs. So everything has consciousness. We were trying to say there's consciousness in water. That's why Bruce Lee always said be like water. You think Bruce Lee got killed because of his kung fu? That was a part of it, but he really got killed because he was a philosopher. He was giving them Chinese secrets, and he was teaching philosophy and martial arts to Africans in California and people who wanted to come. They did not want people on that scale, especially black people or Negroes at that time, waking up on that massive scale. Bruce Lee had mastered his mind. He had mastered his body. This dude's doing 1-arm push-ups with 3 fingers. He had mastered his mind and body and it's into another level. You dig what I'm saying?
So go beyond him. Go on just like on a person meditating on a